news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. We begin with the latest news from Cagayan, where nearly 5,000 families have been evacuated so far as Typhoon Egay rages on. According to the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office Head, Rueli Rapsing, at least 216 barangays in Cagayan are affected by the typhoon. The PDRRMO is also expecting the agriculture sector to take a big hit, as planting has just started in the province. Rapsing also reported some structural damage to Cagayan's municipal halls and evacuation centers.
Pasla pa lang po kami ng consolidation ng mga reports from DMDRMO, pero so far sa bayan po ng Sanchez Mira na sa lakas po ng hangin ay tinangay yung bubong ng kanilang municipal hall at nabasag yung mga bintana ng kanilang evacuation center. Dahil doon, yung mga evacuees po nila ay nilipat nila sa mga multipurpose halls ng mga barangay. At ine-expect po natin, dahil katatanim lang ng mga magsasaka po dito sa Cagayan, at inabutan nga nitong si Super Typhoon Egay ay medyo malaki yung damages natin sa agriculture.
And Typhoon Egay has maintained its strength while moving northwestward over the coastal waters of Calayan in Cagayan. Let's get the latest on the typhoon. We have with us Pag-asa weather forecaster Veronica Torres on the line. Ms. Veronica, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Has Egay already reached its peak intensity, or could it intensify further?
Good afternoon to you, Ms. Sean, and to all of our audience. And for your question, so for now, Egay remains as a typhoon, and based on our latest analysis, and we're expecting Egay to hihina na siya actually, and posible na natin nakikita na lalakas pa siya based sa ating latest forecast analysis.
Right, Ms. Veronica, pero alam naman natin, no, kahit humihina na itong si Egay, bagyo pa rin siya, isa pa rin siyang ganap na bagyo, at patuloy pa rin ba niyang hahatakin yung hanging habagat or yung southwest monsoon, and therefore magdadala pa ng mas marami pang pag-ulan?
Tama po kayo dyan. So, sa ngayon, posible pa rin niyang mahatak yung ating habagat, kaya sa mga susunod na araw, particularly dito din sa Metro Manila, naasahan pa rin natin na magiging maulan throughout our forecast period, or possibly hanggang July 28, maulan, then afterwards, improving weather condition ng ating naasahan.
Alright, specifically, no, among the areas in Luzon that have been hit by Egay, as well as the ones doon sa may bandang west side na natatamaan naman ng mga pag-ulan ng habagat, alin po dyan aling areas po ang makakaranas ng pinakamarami o pinakamalakas na mga pag-ulan?
So, sa ngayon, inaasahan natin, if we're pertaining to habagat, yung maraming mga pag-ulan, nakikita natin dito sa Western Visayas, Palawan, Occidental Mindoro, Zambales, and Bataan. Pero dito sa Metro Manila ay monsoon rains or occasional rains ang inaasahan natin.
Right, Ms. Veronica, tumaas na ba ng bahagya ang mga tubig or water level sa ating mga dams? Specifically, of course, sa Angat Dam.
Opo, kung titingnan natin ang ating latest na data, check natin sa Hydromet Department natin. So, yung based sa data natin kanina, medyo naman, yung Angat, hindi pa rin niya naaabot yung normal water level high, pero umangat naman ng kahit papano yung tubig po doon.
Alright, that's very good to hear po, Ms. Veronica. Last question na lang po, kailan po gaganda yung lagay ng ating panahon? At ito na nga ba yung tinatawag nating extreme weather events na nararanasan natin tuwing panahon ng El Nino, bagamat mild El Nino pa lang ang ating nararanasan right now?
So we're expecting better weather condition dito sa may Metro Manila pagdating ng July 29, yung July 29 which is sa may weekend. Then kung itong event na to, kasi normally talaga pag may dumadaang bagyo, makakaranas tayo ng mga malalakas na pag-ulan. Then, if it's related to El Nino, yan po ay kailangan pa din natin pag-aralan. Kasi usually, kapag kunwari, makaka-apekto El Nino, kailangan pa natin tingnan yung mga data, and ang ating mga kasamahan sa Climatological Department ay susuriin pa muna po yun bago natin masabi po for sure yung mga about that po.
Right, thank you so much for your time and for taking our call this afternoon. Pag-asa weather forecaster Veronica Torres on the line. Maraming salamat, ma'am. We're gonna pause for a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The government wants to cut the number of poor Filipinos by half before President Bongbong Marcos ends his term in 2028. But can the recently launched food stamp program help to achieve this goal? Shyla Francisco tells us in this report.
Almost 20 million Filipinos are considered poor, based on the latest data of the Philippine Statistics Authority in 2021. This translates to a poverty rate of 18.1%. But the current administration wants to cut this rate by half to achieve a single-digit poverty incidence by 2028. If this happens, this would be equivalent to 9% of the population. The National Economic and Development Authority has yet to provide a number of Filipinos that will be considered poor by them. Still, they are confident they will meet their target.
Are we on track? I think given the recent developments, economic data that we have seen, we are definitely on track. As you have heard already many times by now, the economy is growing, grew at 7.6% last year. If you look at the jobs data, we also are reaching unemployment data have continued to decline.
However, NEDA said that rosy economic figures are not enough. Quality of jobs should be improved to further reduce poverty. NEDA said that the goal is for the labor market to match the demands of emerging markets such as artificial intelligence and green economy.
Without investment, there is no way you can improve that quality of jobs. You need to get those, to build factories, you need to build plants, equipment, roads, bridges, and so on, to be able to employ more people in areas where you can, our people can earn decent incomes. So that's the challenge, Daphne, and we are in a hurry because, as we keep on saying, many of our neighbors have left us long ago, but now we have the opportunity. As we keep saying, the stars are aligned, and if we miss this time, I don't know where we are going.
For their part, other agencies such as Department of Education and Commission on Higher Education are working to improve the quality of graduates to better equip them in the labor market.
We have identified niche programs where we can produce world-class professionals. So we are consciously linking Philippine universities with foreign universities so that their graduates will have both Philippine and international credentials. So we continue to be world-class.
We are about to launch the recalibrated K-10 curriculum in a few weeks' time, probably around mid-August. But the review of the senior high school curriculum, mainly grades 11 and 12, is underway. We already have a national task force doing that. We hope to complete that within a year's time. We are on learning recovery, so we needed to decongest our curriculum, focus more on the foundational or fundamental learning areas like math, science, reading, and
The government is also working on upskilling and reskilling the current workforce, including migrant workers.
Marami tayong nurses, teachers, iba pang mga professionals abroad na hindi passers ng board. So, SecTed, inumpisahan namin this year. Nagkanda kami ng mga online review.
But while all of these are underway, the government is doing its best to address the needs of the poor families. The food stamp program, for one, is aimed to end involuntary hunger among food-poor Filipinos. The Social Welfare Department assures the public that the list of beneficiaries are really considered food-poor and not just those chosen by political leaders.
It's always been a misconception that the selection of beneficiaries goes through the political leaders. Quite the contrary. All our programs, including 4Ps and now the food stamp program, ang anchor niyan is the listahan ng database that the department runs. The listahan ng database is a database based on saturation drive or a survey drive that's done by the department. The local leaders have no control over that. It's database driven and it's really isolated or insulated from our political leaders.
For now, the government is studying to make the program permanent in selected areas. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's global headlines. The United States Defense Department unveiled fresh military supply for the Ukraine, amounting to some $400 million. The new aid package will include Black Hornet surveillance drones for the first time, as well as munitions for air defense systems. So far, Washington has provided the Ukraine with over $43 billion in military aid since the start of the Russian invasion in 2022. And China has reinstated Wang Yi as its foreign minister, replacing Qin Gang. Qin has been mysteriously absent for about a month now. The ministry said that he is off work for health reasons, but did not provide further details. This has sparked speculation and drew attention to the secrecy often surrounding China's Communist Party leadership. Qin's successor, Wang, was also his predecessor, who held the post from 2013 to 2022. And Pope Francis told a young transgender person that, quote, God loves us as we are. The Pope made this remark during a podcast in Portugal. He said that even if we are sinners, the Lord draws near to help us, and this is God's crazy love. Francis had famously said, "Who am I to judge?" in answer to a specific question on homosexuals. The pontiff has also condemned laws that criminalize members of the LGBTQIA+ community. And back here at home, the Creamline Cool Smashers are back in the finals of the PVL Invitational Conference, while guest team Kurashiki Ablaze is looking to be Creamline's sparring partner in the championships. Marty Bautista reports.
For Gemma Galanza, back to Valdez. Goes for the cross.
The Creamline Cool Smashers took 2 sets to adjust their game against an unfamiliar foe in the PVL Invitational Conference semifinals. Still, 3 sets is all they needed to take down Vietnamese guest team Qin Gang women. Final score 25-23, 25-23, and 25-17. The win enabled the Cool Smashers to clinch the first final spot in the tournament. Dots Carlos was stellar as usual for Creamline with 16 points, while Eliza Valdez has slowly inched back to her old self with 11 markers. Defense was also key for Creamline, who had 10 blocks to the opponent's 5. In the other game, Japan's Kurashiki Ablaze and F2 Logistics Cargo Movers figured in an intense matchup. Though the Ablaze eventually took the game in straight sets, it wasn't something given to them easily. Final 25-20, 25-22, and 25-20. Tamaru Asaka again was the top scorer for the Japanese side with 19 points. The win solidified the team's hold of the second place as the only other unbeaten team in the round-robin semis besides Creamline. On the other hand, the loss eliminated F2 from finals contention as the Cargo Movers fell to a 1-3 slate. PVL Invitational action continues on Thursday, July 27 at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. The PLDT high-speed hitters will try to salvage their campaign against the streaking Kurashiki squad at 4 p.m. While Back Nin will face the also-ran Signal HD Spikers at 6:30 p.m. Catch the games live on One Sports and One Sports Plus. For News 5, Marty Bautista. We are One News.
One News Now will be back at 6 p.m. with the day's latest stories. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.